virtually from around the globe. Istanbul is the only city that connects two continents, is a hub of history, culture, art, and forward-thinking initiatives. It makes it perfect venue for our gathering here. And it is with great pleasure that we gather today under the theme of green and digital transformation. The Global Innovation Summit 2024 is a testament to our collective commitment to addressing today's most pressing challenges with innovation and technology. The summit brings together global leaders, decision makers, companies, and key research organizations, literally all the stakeholders of the industry from around the globe to tackle the ever-changing challenges we face. Coordinated by the Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey, or TÜBİTAK, and hosted by the Ministry of Industry and Technology of Turkey, the event aligns with the Turkish Chairship's 2023-2024 theme of Building Bridges for Global Challenges, which is further defined by our four sub-themes. 1. Impactful instruments. 2. Building a green and digital future. 3. Sustainability of Eureka, and 4. Embrace the globe. The 2023-2024 Turkish Eureka Chairship aims to bring together stakeholders from the research, innovation, and entrepreneurship landscapes to explore collaboration opportunities, showcase cutting-edge projects, and promote cross-border partnerships within the Eureka network, with a diverse range of sessions, including thematic discussions, pitching sessions, and counter-presentations. The summit provides a comprehensive platform for attendees to engage with the latest trends, funding mechanisms, and best practices in research and innovation. Distinguished guests, now it's time to watch our short video about the program, as well as it is to see Turkey's research and development capabilities and country's innovation power, and also what has been achieved during the Eureka Chairship, Turkey 2023-2024.
Turkey aims to develop high-tech products and services worldwide for the benefit of peace and prosperity, connecting the continents of Asia and Europe with a technological leap. The domestically produced electric car TOG, which entered mass production in 2022, has now reached its annual production capacity of 175,000 units. With over 30 solar panel production facilities, electricity is generated with a capacity of 22 gigawatts annually. The solar power plant in Konya Karapinash is the largest in Europe. TÜBİTAK, playing a significant role in Turkey's technology leap, stands out with its R&D investments. Innovation networks are being established in areas such as smart cities, additive manufacturing, avionics display technologies, and photovoltaic solar energy technologies. Promising projects are being developed in the healthcare sector, and efforts are being made in circular economy and resource efficiency. We are working co-creation-based collaboration with all ecosystem stakeholders, from universities to research institutions, and from SMEs to large corporations, to develop science and technology-based solutions that will help Turkey achieve its goal of net zero emissions by 2053. In line with this, we are actively supporting Turkey's green industrial projects and green transformation efforts. Since 2018, Technofest, the world's largest technology festival, has been evaluating projects prepared by young people in competitions. Significant progress is being made in innovative transportation technology with Hyperloop projects. Innovative endeavors are being pursued, including digital design projects, quantum random number generation, and transmitter-receiver circuit designs. While national efforts continue without losing momentum, Turkey also maintains its presence effectively on international platforms. Under the coordination of TÜBİTAK, Turkey holds the chairship of Eureka, which has 47 members.
Yapacağımız çalışmalarla hem bu network'teki paydaşlarımıza hem de ülkemize önemli çıktılar ve sonuçlar üretmeyi hedefliyoruz. Ülkemizin önceliklerinin uluslararası arenada karşılık bulması, uluslararası platformlara yansıması açısından da oldukça önemli bir fırsat olarak görüyoruz.
Üyelerinin büyük çoğunluğu Avrupa'dan olmak üzere dünya çapında 45'ten fazla kurumsal üyesiyle sanayinin uluslararası Ar-Ge ve yenilik işbirliğinde lider platformu Eureka'nın başkanlığı, TÜBİTAK'ın bilim ve teknoloji alanındaki kabiliyetinin ve liderliğinin Türkiye yüzyılına katkısıdır.
Since 1985, more than 7,000 R&D projects have been supported within the scope of Eureka, creating a research and development volume of over 48 billion euros. Turkey ranks 6th among Eureka member countries in terms of forming the most partnerships in the last 10 years. The contributions provided by these projects are appreciated by participating companies.
Eureka projects, we had a chance to extend our expertise and also products in different sectors like maritime surveillance.
The initialization of commercialization activities in parallel with the R&D projects is quite important. Secondly, we believe that it is necessary to carry out joint works with foreign partners, not only on project topics, but in a much more broader perspective.
Research and development is a long-term process. It requires endurance to keep going. Thanks to Eureka, research and development, it is possible to fasten research and development projects.
Data sets that we had access with the Eureka project partners and the problem sets that we are working on enabled us to push our product in new directions, which also gave us access to new markets that we were not addressing before.
In Eureka projects, we complement each other together with large industries, research centers, and other SMEs. We manage to produce new products and services.
With an unwavering belief in R&D and innovation, Turkey is steadfastly committed to developing the technologies of the future and leading in global competition.
Cumhurbaşkanımızın liderliğinde son 22 yılda bilime ve teknolojiye yaptığımız yatırımlarla güçlü bir ekosistem inşa ettik. Ülkemizin teknoloji ve yenilikçilik alanında küresel düzeyde rekabet edebilir bir düzeye, konuma gelmesini hep birlikte sağladık.
TÜBİTAK akademik, araştırma, geliştirme, destek programları kapsamında toplam 31.000 projeye destek sağladı. Bilimde, teknolojide, inovasyonda, bilimsel araştırmalarda da zirveyi hedeflemek mecburiyetindeyiz.
For nearly 40 years, Eureka has continued to offer unique opportunities by bridging good ideas with financing, thereby carrying them beyond borders.
We meet in Eureka to push the boundaries of innovation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to Eureka Turkey Global Innovation Summit. Our guests joining us from the balcony seats, you also welcome, we welcome you all, and also our guests joining us virtually from around the globe. You look fabulous. Can I get a big applause for the kicking off the summit officially from all of you? Can I please get a big applause? Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to invite to the stage for his opening speech, Mr. İsmail Doğan, Eureka Chair and Vice President of TÜBİTAK. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him.
Dear ministers, high-level representatives, distinguished participants, and Eureka family. Welcome to the Global Innovation Summit 2024. I'm honored to host and welcome you today at this great event. This event, held under the auspices of the 2023-2024 Turkish Eureka Chairship, is more than a mere assembly. It's a crucible of creativity, and a venue where individuals from various backgrounds come together to exchange ideas, establish partnerships, and influence the future of innovation. It's a privilege to inaugurate this summit and reflect on the journey and impact of Eureka, as well as the importance of this occasion. Eureka, the world's largest public network for international cooperation in R&D and innovation, was established almost 40 years ago by 18 European countries and the European Commission. Over the years, it has grown into a robust platform with 47 member countries, including non-European participants. Eureka's mission is to encourage the development of advanced technologies, products, and services that enhance the competitiveness of industrial and research organizations in world markets. Considering the statistics, since 1985, more than 48 billion euros has been allocated to organizations, aiding the success of around 7,500 R&D projects. Organizations applying to Eureka's programs experience a high success rate for funding with minimal bureaucratic load. Moreover, private investors value companies that participate in the Eureka programs. Eureka programs encourage you to cultivate new R&D and business relationships. International R&D projects often lead to high-quality innovation, which will further enable you to combine expertise, share knowledge, enhance resources and capabilities, and mitigate risks. As one of the Eureka's founding members, Turkey has played a significant role in the network's evolution. We are proud to have been one of the most active participants contributing to and benefiting from this vibrant network. This chairship is our third time taking up this role, and it has been a valuable addition to our long-standing activities in Eureka. Under the coordination of TÜBİTAK, we have hosted numerous significant events and meetings, each aimed at fostering international industrial collaboration and driving forward our technological boundaries. Our chairship was marked by several key initiatives, including high-level group meetings and critical gatherings that facilitated crucial discussions throughout the year. These gatherings were not just about administrative decisions, but about shaping the future of innovation through strategic discussions and collaborations. After 3 Eureka Network meetings, today we gather for the final event under our chairship. This summit brings together stakeholders from research, innovation, and entrepreneurship to explore collaboration opportunities, showcase cutting-edge projects, and promote cross-border partnerships. With diverse sessions, including thematic discussions, pitching opportunities, and country presentations, the summit provides a comprehensive platform to engage with the latest trends, funding mechanisms, and best practices in research and innovation. The theme of green and digital transformation highlights the critical role of sustainable practices and technological advancements in shaping our future. By focusing on this intersection, we aim to inspire solutions that drive both environmental sustainability and digital progress. Highlights include the Turkey Eureka Innovation Awards, recognizing exemplary projects within the network, and dedicated sessions on key themes such as the green transition and digitalization. Participants will enjoy invaluable network opportunities, B2B meetings, and an exhibition area to connect, collaborate, and showcase contributions to advancing innovation. Yesterday, as we handed over to Canadian-German co-chair, we are sure that their dedication and hard work will undoubtedly propel Eureka to new heights, reinforcing our collective mission of fostering innovation and cooperation across borders. With every new Eureka chairship, the Eureka program will continue to be the biggest innovation network dedicated to finding solutions to the world's common challenges. As we broaden our horizons and embrace new opportunities, we will continue to drive forward the frontiers of innovation, ensuring a brighter and more prosperous future for all of us. Thank you for being here today, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions and collaborations that this summit will foster. Thank you again, and welcome again.
We would like to thank Mr. İsmail Doğan, Eureka Chair and Vice President of TÜBİTAK for his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to the stage now the President of TÜBİTAK, Professor Dr. Hasan Mandal.
So, very good morning, so dear Excellency, Deputy Ministers, high-level representatives, esteemed colleagues, distinguished innovators, ladies and gentlemen, and also the kindly attending press. So we are deeply honored and welcome to all you to European, so Eureka Global Innovation Summit in Istanbul in year 2024. So it's a privilege to be on the stage at the event that symbolizes that the spirit of the collaboration and innovation across the globe. The summit is a testament of our collective commitment to fostering a future driven by research, development, and cutting-edge technology. Global challenges, I think we are the common word we have been all naming, and we have been addressing in the 5 categories. So environmentally, socially, economically, geopolitically, and also technologically. But the most important than these 5 pillars, the connection between them is becoming much more complex, more dynamic, and more variable. So and also the current knowledge and also the experience may not be enough to deal with this complex, dynamic, and variable challenges. So research, development, and innovation is the common language we have been naming. So therefore, the role of Eureka in global sense, I think, is becoming much more important than ever. And also this summit, which we think that make a contribution in this respect. So therefore, we need new approaches, not only answer the question, what are the challenges, which we have been all agreeing, more or less, but how we will be answer to question. And again, the Eureka, I think, is one of the important platform to answer to this question. So especially when we are during our chairship for year 2023 and year 2024, we try to be emphasized on this respect, not only addressing the name of the challenges, but how we will be to achieve on these points. And in this respect, we put the top of our agenda, so the green and digital transformation. So we will have an extensive forum today and tomorrow. And also we are talking about the sustainability of the Eureka. To make it global network in all sense. And in terms of our commitment as Turkey and as the national contact point as TÜBİTAK. So during the last, we are one of the founding members, but during the last 5 years, year 2019 and year 2023, Turkey developed 176 projects, attracting the 665 million euros with its partners. Only in last year, 2023, 276 Turkish organizations applied for the funding, and 116 participating in 37 approved projects, drawing about 125 million euro. So this is showing that not only saying, is holding this event, but it's also our commitment. And in this respect, Turkey is ranked in third in the Europa network, and also the second in the Eureka clusters. And also we are trying our performance in Eurostars. And again, this event, bringing all the stakeholders around the globe, definitely will improve our performance of the research, development, and innovation. And also, we are trying to be, attract. It used to be our emphasis and more concentration on the business side, business enterprises, but also we are attracting the universities and research centers. So therefore, in this auditorium, the universities and also the research centers are in here. And also we are also including in the last calls to, in addition, of course, the leadership of the companies, but the universities and also the research centers are also included. So during this year 2023 and year 2024, is different events in Ankara, Izmir, and also in Istanbul. So it's a very hard work, and I thank my whole team, and especially the Ismail Doğan as the chair of the Eureka, and also the Eureka Secretariat. We have been worked very closely and very friendly, and of course to all the global partners coming to Ankara and Izmir, and now in the Global Summit in Istanbul. So, and also beside this already agreed areas, but also because of the challenges we have been also facing, we have been also suggested as Turkey, as TÜBİTAK, so a new called topic on the advancing disaster resilience, relief and recovery, recognizing their critical importance. So this is also well accepted, so thank you to Eureka team, but I think that this is becoming more and more important, and there will be a special session later this afternoon on this topic. So now we are finishing end of tomorrow our presidency, our chair position. This is the third time which we are heading as Turkey, chairing the Eureka, and we are handing over to Canada and Germany. So, and we congratulate them, and I am sure that we'll keep on it and we'll do it much more better in next time, in next year in Canada. So this is also showing becoming the Eureka more global, not only in Europe, it's becoming more global. It's a sense of this is a kind of a right indication. So in this respect, once more, I thank to my team, to Eureka Secretariat globally, and also our Minister of Industry and Technology. Unfortunately, he is in Spain today together with our president. So he's always showing us the right direction. We worked very closely with our minister and ministerial office. So thank you very much for your coming. And we are meeting where the continents are meeting. So, and looking forward today and tomorrow, getting more networking and more connections and more impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Mandal, for your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, President of TÜBİTAK. Now it's time for a video message sent to our program by European Commission's Commissioner for Innovation, Research, Culture, Education and Youth, Liana Ivanova. Let's have a watch.
Dear Minister Kaçer, honorable guests, it is a pleasure to address you today during this Eureka Global Innovation Summit. I warmly congratulate the Turkish government for the successful year as Eureka Chair. The results speak for themselves. Under your chairmanship, Eureka concluded a specific Western Balkan call, which received 17 project proposals. And each of these proposals involved at least one Western Balkan partner. As part of our cooperation with Eureka, a joint European partnership on innovative SMEs has already financed more than 20 Turkish SMEs in only 2.5 years. I hoped that the results will be beneficial for Europe as a whole. As we discussed, dear Minister Kaçer, during our very successful high-level dialogue in Istanbul, only by joining forces in research and innovation, we will find the transformative solutions enabling the green and digital transitions, not only for Turkey, but also for the Eureka network and the European Union. Thank you all, and I wish you a very successful event.
We thank Liana Ivanova for her video message. It's now time for another video message sent to our program by a leading figure of Turkey in the country's national technology initiative, as well as innovative technology initiatives and research and development activities. Please allow me to introduce the video message of Mr. Mehmet Fatih Kacır, Turkey's Minister of Industry and Technology.
Excellencies, high-level representatives, distinguished academicians, innovative companies from around the world, Europe and Turkey. It's a great honor to address you at the Eureka Global Innovation Summit, an event organized as part of our 2023-2024 Turkey chairship. For 2 days, we will gather to discuss the future of industry and technology, exploring the limitless opportunities that innovation brings with the theme Building Bridges for Global Challenge in the magnificent city of Istanbul. Connecting 2 continents, Istanbul has been a bridge between East and West, a place where cultures, ideas, and innovations converge. This unique geographical position provides Istanbul with unparalleled strategic importance, serving as a natural hub for global trade and cooperation. The city's rich history as a center of commerce and innovation is now complemented by its modern infrastructure and vibrant business environment, making it an ideal location for international collaboration and technological exchange. We are excited to bring together academics, innovators, and decision makers from around the globe to the city that exemplifies the essence of global cooperation. It's also a privilege to address you on behalf of Turkey, a nation deeply committed to technological advancement, R&D, and innovation. In last decades, we increased the number of scientific publications from nearly 9,000 to 48,000. Globally, we have advanced from the 22nd place to the 14th place among countries producing the highest number of scientific publications. Our researchers have been involved in 10 times more international collaborative publications. The field-weighted citation impact of Turkey-originated publications rose from 0.69 to 1.03, surpassing the world average and matching the G20 average. The progress in scientific research has led to significant improvements in our intellectual property capacity. 20 years ago, we ranked 39th globally in patent applications. Today, we are now the 12th in local patent applications. There were only 414 local patent applications in a year, but last year we received 8,663 domestic patent applications. We are also the second in the world for design applications. To ensure that scientific research contributes to our country's development, we have built an R&D and innovation ecosystem from scratch. In the last 2 decades, we have increased our R&D expenditures tenfold, from $1.2 billion to $12 billion. Among 47 OECD member countries and observers, we are the second in increasing R&D spending the most. With our R&D workforce growing from 29,000 to 272,000, we have become the country with the highest increase in R&D personnel among OECD countries. Today, our country continues its technological development journey with more than 10,500 technology firms operating in 102 technoparks and over 1,600 R&D and design centers. Thanks to this ecosystem, high-tech sectors stand out positively in industrial production. Our export volume has increased from $36 billion to $260 billion in 2 decades. Particularly, our manufacturing industry is the driving force for our exports. We are the leading manufacturer in Europe for products ranging from solar panels to commercial vehicles. We have succeeded in becoming a country with a say in important technologies and strong integration with Europe and the rest of the globe. We have achieved significant advancements in aerospace, defense, and energy, showcasing our dedication to national technological progress and sustainable development. Turkey is also home to a vibrant startup ecosystem with dynamic entrepreneurs driving forward new ideas and disruptive technologies. The robust innovation environment is borne out by the 7 unicorns, which we have named as Turcorns, that have come out of our country in the past 4 years. With its various programs and incentives that encourage and promote entrepreneurial endeavors, Turkey has emerged as a regional leader in the areas of both incubation and scaling investments. By 2030, we will ensure that 100 Turcorns and 100,000 technology startups from Turkey to emerge and thrive. We will make significant advancements in disruptive technologies from 5G to autonomous mobility systems, battery and chip technologies, solar panels, wind turbines, biotechnological drugs, and to next-generation satellite technologies and high-speed trains. We aim to expand the knowledge-based digital economy and strengthen our innovative and entrepreneurial human resources. We will accelerate green and digital transformation, positioning our country as a global hub for advanced production and technology development. On the path to achieving these targets, we acknowledge that we will encounter many challenges that are faced globally as well. Climate change, natural disasters, crises in food, water, energy and raw materials, geopolitical tensions, international inequalities and protectionism in trade and technology bring new issues that we must address with determination and collaboration. We recognize more cohesive and interconnected research and innovation landscape will help us to solve humanity's grand challenges as well as accelerate scientific progress. It also enables us to leverage the full potential of innovation to create sustainable and inclusive growth. Turkey is strongly integrated into the global R&D and innovation ecosystem through bilateral and multilateral platforms such as EU programs. Turkey, as an essential component of the European research area, ranks 4th among the 16 associated countries that participated in the Horizon 2020 program. Our ambition is to achieve even greater success in Horizon Europe. The results from the first 3 years of the Horizon Europe program have indicated the continuation of the strong and positive trend of Turkey's performance. 258 million euros of grant support has been received since 2021 through 527 projects involving 877 Turkish researchers and innovative firms. We joined the 8.2 billion euro Digital Europe program to enhance digital competencies and provide our SMEs with access to infrastructures established in Europe. We joined NATO Innovation Fund, the world's first multinational and Europe's largest deep tech venture capital fund. Turkey is committed to forging international collaborations, further integrating into the global R&D and innovation ecosystem, and continuing to build on these successes. We highly regard Eureka's role as a catalyst for fostering global partnerships, driving innovation, and accelerating technological advancements across borders. Turkey has been an active participant of the Eureka network since its establishment in 1985, contributing to and benefiting from the collective wisdom and innovation that defines this exceptional platform. Our Eureka track record is the evidence of confidence and commitment in the way Eureka chases solutions to tackle global challenges. Turkey is one of the successful actors of Eureka with its active attitude in recent years. In 2023, 276 Turkish organizations applied for funding under different Eureka programs. 116 organizations have been participating in 37 projects approved for funding, attracting about 125 million euro of public-private investment. Turkish company representatives acted as chair and vice chair of Eureka clusters, which is one of Eureka's most essential support mechanisms. Turkey has also consistently demonstrated willingness to assume responsibility in addition to its proactive approach and involvement in Eureka. After the contingency period, Turkey has applied for the chairship of Eureka and taken responsibility.
We are proud to hold the chairship of Eureka, the world's biggest public network for international collaboration in R&D and innovation. Our chairship, the third in our 40 years of membership in Eureka, focused on impactful instruments, global engagements, creating a green and digital future, and ensuring the sustainability of Eureka. We worked on advancing disaster resilience, relief and recovery, recognizing their critical importance in a rapidly changing world. We emphasized the importance of data-driven processes, policymaking, and showcasing impact visualizations. That's why we initiated the multi-chairship Data Governance and Strategy Initiative. As we hand over the chairship for the 2024-25 term to Canada and Germany, I wish them success. Distinguished participants, although it originated in Europe, Eureka has now become known all over the world, and we have always been in favor of global outreach of Eureka. In this regard, we fully support the eligible countries to join and benefit our network, and Brazil is the current example of this perception. We are pleased to have Brazil to join Eureka, and I wish them the best of luck as they work towards becoming a full member. As we move forward, let us remember that our collective success depends on our ability to work together. We invite all nations, organizations, and innovators to join us in this journey, to share their expertise, and to collaborate on building a sustainable and prosperous future for all. Let us embrace the strength of our industries, the power of innovation, and the potential of global cooperation. Together, we can address the challenge of our time and create a world where technology and industry serve as catalysts for positive change. I would like to remind you that technology is valuable only to the extent that it benefits humanity. Technology developed without adherence to ethical values brings nothing but disaster to humanity. With this understanding, Israel's unjust attacks in Gaza, where babies, children, innocent people are losing their lives, must be stopped immediately. As I conclude my remarks, I thank everyone who has contributed to the successful organization of this great event. I also congratulate the individuals, institutions, and countries that were awarded the Turkey Eureka Innovation Awards. Thank you.
We'd like to thank Mr. Mehmet Fatih Kacır, Turkey's Minister of Industry and Technology, for his remarks, for the data and statistics he provided, and also the stark messages, which I'd like to highlight. One of them is technology is valuable only if it serves humanity. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling at the moment? Are we all happy to be here? Given the weather of Istanbul at the moment, we are extraordinarily having a warm June in Istanbul. This is, trust me, one of the best places to be at the moment, one of the most coolest environments. How are we feeling? While my colleagues are setting up the stage for the panel discussion, excuse me, my teammates, while our colleagues setting up the stage for the panel discussion, I'd like to give you some information in a nutshell about our event. So we're going to have sessions focusing on key themes such as green transition and digitalization. Additionally, the participants here will have access to networking opportunities, B2B meetings, and an exhibition area where projects, countries, and stakeholders can connect, collaborate, and showcase their contributions to advancing innovation. Overall, this summit aims to drive collaboration, foster innovation, and accelerate societal impact within the Turkish and broader Eureka innovation ecosystems. In line with global and national developments and needs, green transition and digitalization, circular economy, and sustainable manufacturing, data dynamics, smart cities, and urban innovation have been chosen as the main focus areas for our exceptional events. Today, we are here with the hope that the ongoing scientific cooperation between Eureka countries and beyond will expand in these fields of innovation. I will shortly introduce our panelists, and I'd like to thank once again for our speakers making their opening speeches. And by the way, during the opening speeches, we had more participants joining us in the balcony seats. We welcome you all. Once again, welcome to Global Innovation Summit 2024. And I think I can slowly introduce our distinguished panelists for our opening panel. This panel will be led by a very precious moderator. It's now my pleasure and also privilege to invite to the stage Turkey's Deputy Minister of Industry and Technology, Professor Dr. Ahmet Yozgatlıgil. Efendim hoş geldiniz. Buyurun. It's also my pleasure now to introduce and invite our distinguished speakers for this panel. Bulgaria's Deputy Minister of Innovation and Growth, Krasimir Yakimov. Romania's Deputy Minister of Ministry of Research, Innovation and Digitalization, Andrei Alexandru. And last but not least, Czech Republic's Director General for Higher Education, Science and Research, Radka Vildova. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her. Welcome to the third speaker. Mr. Minister Ahmet Yozgatlıgil, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Esteemed guests and dear all, welcome to this opening panel. It's a privilege for us to host you all on the margins of the Istanbul Global Innovation Summit under the chairship of Turkey. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your participation. Eureka has a unique role in tackling global challenges as the biggest public-driven international cooperation network in research, development and innovation. As Minister Kajer mentioned, Turkey attaches a great value to Eureka's diligent and mature mindset, and we encourage the Eureka community to accelerate the current momentum. At this panel, we'll be exploring how sustainable innovation can drive positive change and shape the future of economies and societies worldwide. The imperative of sustainability is greater than ever. In light of global challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, and social inequality, the necessity to cultivate sustainable practices and innovation has become increasingly pressing. Sustainable innovation offers the potential to reconcile economic prosperity with environmental stewardship and social equity. The shift towards sustainable innovation strategies is no longer a matter of choice, but a collective responsibility that requires cross-border and cross-sectoral cooperation. In recent years, Turkey has made remarkable progress in embracing sustainable innovation in various sectors, particularly renewable energy and green infrastructure. Our commitment to fostering innovation through the National Technology Initiative has provided a solid foundation for advancing sustainable development. Furthermore, Turkey's vibrant ecosystem of startups, research institutions, and civil society organizations has become a catalyst for nurturing innovation and fostering collaboration. Despite the national efforts and progress made by each country, major challenges require concerted efforts and coordinated approach. The transition to a sustainable future, boosting innovation requires a paradigm shift in mindsets, policies, and practices at national and international levels. Our esteemed panelists joining us today bring a wealth of expertise and experience to the table. Allow me to introduce them. The Deputy Minister of Innovation and Growth of Republic of Bulgaria, Krasimir Yakimov, initially served as head of the policy office of the ministry, and prior to that he was a lawyer for almost 10 years, providing legal advice and representation to international and domestic companies in various aspects of their commercial activities, with a focus on corporate governance, debt and equity financing. Secretary of State at the Romanian Minister of Research, Innovation and Digitalization, Andrei Alexandru, has worked as a senior scientific researcher and associate at several research centers, institutes and universities. He also has experience in local government, having served as a local councillor in the Vaslui municipality. As one of the senior executives of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports of the Czech Republic, Director General for Higher Education, Science and Research, Professor Radka Vildova, has served as the Dean of the Faculty of Education and Vice Rector for the Conception and Quality of Education at Charles University. Now I'd like to open the floor for discussion. Deputy Minister Yakimov, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I should be doing that here.
Please,
right?
please.
Okay. Your Excellency, Mr. Dugan, Professor Mandal, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, it is a great honor and pleasure to be with you all today in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, that big, Istanbul. What we do in Bulgaria is we are having a well-developed digital and communication infrastructure, which provide us with a key advantage and make us a preferred place for the development of innovative technologies. Through the EU-funded financial instruments and programs, through our Bulgarian Fund of Funds and the Bulgarian Development Bank, we encourage the entrepreneurial mindset of the Bulgarian companies and startups by providing financing and seed capital. Our ministry is promoting the green transition through the effective implementation of our sustainable policies. In order to improve our country's research capacity and innovative performance, we have adopted the innovation strategy for smart specialization for the term of 2021 until 2027, where we adopted 5 key areas, among which is the clean technology, the circular and the low carbon economy. The financial instruments that are supporting our strategy are more than €1 billion in an EU-funded program for research, innovation and digitalization, where we implement financial instruments for innovation, knowledge transfer and technology transfer. Another pillar of our endeavors is our Institute for Computer Science, Artificial Intelligence and Technology. It aims to establish Bulgaria's leading destination for research and development. The institution was created in partnership with 2 world-leading Swiss universities, and it is led by the world-renowned Bulgarian and international scholars for leading university in the US and Switzerland. Because of that, and of course because of many other initiatives, that being as well the Defense Innovation Accelerator, which was mentioned earlier, in recent years, Bulgaria became recognizable as an IT destination and predictable place for realization of innovative business projects. As member of the largest network for international cooperation in the field of innovation and research, our country is a reliable partner and successfully contributes to the development of innovation policy, increasing the technological level and the enterprises of the economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to give the floor to Andrei Alexandru. Please, the floor is yours.
Dear ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to address you today on the behalf of the Romanian Ministry of Research, Innovation and Digitalization. Romania is committed to driving sustainable innovation across all sectors. By integrating sustainability criteria into our policies, funding programs and regulatory frameworks, we are paving the way for a greener, more prosperous future. Together we can achieve remarkable progress in sustainability, benefiting both our economy and environment. A cornerstone of our sustainable innovation strategy is the transition to a circular economy. We have established a national strategy that promotes the redesign of products and processes to reduce waste and extend the life cycle of materials. Romanian companies like Greenway have pioneered electronic waste recycle, extracting valuable materials and reducing landfill waste. In addition, we are supporting initiatives such as European Union's Horizon 2020, which found projects aimed at improving resource efficiency in industries like manufacturing and agriculture. Romania is making significant strides in expanding its renewable energy capacity. The Fântânele Cogelac wind farm, the largest onshore wind farm in Europe, exemplifies our commitment to renewable energy. Many solar parks, such as the one in Giurgiu County, are contributing to our clean energy goals. We are advancing the development of smart grid technologies to optimize energy distribution and integrate renewable resources. Platforms like Presu enable consumers to trade excess renewable energy and enhance grid efficiency and sustainability. We are also focusing on sustainable transportation solutions. Initiatives like Raba Plus program provide subsidies for electric vehicle purchases, encouraging clean transportation. Investments in modernizing public transportations in cities like Bucharest and Cluj are reducing urban emissions. By leveraging Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, we are improving resource management and environmental management. Projects utilizing Internet of Things for precision agriculture, such as those developed by the Romanian Institute of Agricultural Economics, are increasing crop yields and reduce resource use. Ladies and gentlemen, the innovation and the technological transfer are the main engines of our economy. So our country is deeply committed to supporting the applicative research, the innovation, and most of all, the technological transfer, since the results derived from the research process should be applied in the real economy and in the society in order to assure sustainable economic growth, to respond to societal challenges, to solve concrete problems of the society, to generate prosperity and ensure safety for all of us. I want to congratulate the Turkish Ministry of Industry and Technology and also TÜBİTAK for organizing this event. As I said, the innovation and the technological transfer should be priorities for all the countries. For example, the budget of Romania was increased in 2023 with 17% than 2022 on this part of research and innovation, and in 2024 with 30% than in 2033. So I encourage you, all of you, to invest and to sustain the innovation, because in this way we can assure a better future for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your remarks. Now I'd like to give the floor to Professor Radka Vildova. Professor, the floor is yours.
Dear Deputy Ministers, dear distinguished guests, dear colleagues, let me first thank you for all your kind invitation to be here. It's my great pleasure to be with you here today at the Global Innovation Summit and contribute to the debate on sustainable innovation and the role of policies. Allow me to express my thanks to the Ministry of Industry and Technology as well as to the Turkish chairship of Eureka for organizing this event and bringing to discussion those issues which are of very high importance and also urgency. All highlighted areas, circular economy, resource efficiency, clean energy, sustainable transportation, digitalization and green technologies are the challenges that we are facing globally. Only by giving our support to research, development and innovation, we can ensure that new innovative state-of-the-art solutions will be deployed and used. Governments play an absolutely crucial role in defining strategies, suitable instruments, and allocating adequate public resources. We all know that these challenges do not have a simple and single solution. They are complex and they must be treated as such. In order to face these challenges, we need stronger bonds and increased cooperation between the academic sector and industry. But we must go beyond and also involve citizens, NGOs, and municipalities. Last but not least, we must reinforce international cooperation, as those are not local but global challenges. In Czechia, we are aware that policymakers play a key role in creating a supportive environment for collaboration by developing policies and founding programs that incentivize partnerships between different sectors. We have dedicated governmental strategies for energy, environment, transportation, but also digitalization, together with RIS3 strategy and targeted instruments ranging from grants through advice support and networking possibilities to bank instruments. We are able to direct the support in order to reach the goals. We are a small country with an open economy. The research and innovation strategies thus put emphasis on international cooperation and use of different instruments on EU and international level. With this respect, Eureka is a unique network for us, offering a range of possibilities for cooperation with partners within and outside the EU. I would also like to stress here that we put a special emphasis on social sciences and humanities. Technologies have been developing very fast, and we must not forget that without their proper use, they will not be exploited fully. Therefore, we have been implementing a special program combining social sciences with technology areas, involving citizens and various stakeholders. In the same direction, research and development must go hand in hand with raising public awareness and education from primary schools. Pupils and students today need completely different skills to face the current challenges. Therefore, we must include education in our sectoral strategies or reflect current and future challenges in our education strategies. Thank you for your attention and wishing all of us very fruitful exchanges during this summit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, as we conclude our discussions in this panel on the sustainable innovation, I would like to express my gratitude to the esteemed panelists for their inspiring inputs. Actually, today we have explored the cross-cutting themes of sustainability and innovation, highlighting the critical role these elements play in shaping a better future for all. So this dialogue, with the examples of the important programs in 3 different countries, has demonstrated the need for sustainable and innovative approaches that prioritize environmental sustainability and social responsibility. We have heard inspiring examples of how governments are adopting sustainable practices to drive positive change, and the importance of education, which goes in parallel with the innovation, which is one of the key takeaways from our discussion. The collaboration and inclusiveness is very important, and real progress can only be achieved when we all come together to share ideas and expertise. Sustainable innovation is the path to a resilient and prosperous future. Turkey stands ready to take the necessary steps to continue contributing to these efforts. We look forward to further discussions, and thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Deputy Minister of Turkey's Industry and Technology, Mr. Ahmet Yozgatlıgil, Deputy Minister of Innovation and Growth of Bulgaria, Krasimir Yakimov, Deputy Minister of Ministry of Research, Innovation and Digitalization of Romania, Andrei Alexandru, Director General for Higher Education, Science and Research of Czech Republic, Radka Vildova. We all thank you very much for your valuable insights and for this opening panel. Don't go anywhere. We have a very valuable keynote speech before lunch, but while my colleagues are setting up the stage once again, I'd like to give you again some information about what's ahead of us. Are you excited for the 2-day ahead of us? First of all, I'd like to hear, are you excited? As I said, we're going to have dedicated sessions, and we're going to also have Euroca Turkey Global Innovation Summit Awards ceremony tomorrow. It will be very important for us, and your participation will be needed, and we'll be shortly proceeding with our keynote speech. I'd like to once again thank our opening panelists for their valuable insights, and I'd like to thank your attention up until now. And before we go for lunch, as I said, we are going to have a keynote speech from a very valuable speaker. And please allow me to introduce her. She is the latest winner of the European Innovation Council Women Innovators Prize and has been named one of the 3 Cartier Women's Initiative 2021 Global Science and Technology Pioneer Award Fellows. She dedicated her life to science and innovation. She is an inventor or co-inventor of over 50 issued patents or pending applications. I'm actually looking forward to her speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Rana Sanyal to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Very excited to be here, and to all our distinguished guests in-house right now and watching us online. Hello to everyone. I'm hoping to inspire all of you a little bit at the beginning of this amazing conference, and while Turkey is handing off the Eureka leadership to many more powerful connections to be made all through this network event, I'm going to share a little bit of what I understand from innovation, what I think innovation means, and then a little bit of my story, hoping to have a little bit of inspiration, especially for startups, for people who are coming new into the startup world, and for seasoned people who know what startup means and who want to really make a difference in the world. That's why I put the title as Making a Difference Through Innovation. Let me start by explaining what I thought innovation meant. So this whole, let's imagine, a whole ball is all the knowledge that we know in the world right now, everything. in the universe. So inside this, you start learning some of the information, some knowledge. That is when you finish elementary school. I have a young one at home who is finishing elementary school tomorrow, as a matter of fact. He will be graduating. So he knows this much, hopefully. He thinks he knows the entire globe, of course, but that's where we are. Now, you finish junior high, your high school, you gather some more information on top of that, and then you start getting into college, you have your bachelor's degree, and you start now getting some more in-depth information into one field. Okay? And then, of course, you start reading some more, and you do some master's degree. You get to some higher education, and then you start reading research papers. You learn a little bit more. Now, this innovation idea, I didn't say it at the beginning, is from the perspective of a person who is doing really deep technology. I don't think it gets deeper than what I'm going to talk to you about today. So consider that from, listen to this from that perspective, please. So you're getting to now to the edge of human knowledge in that field of that you are trying to learn, you are trying to improve. So you start pushing that boundary. That is the boundary where you are trying to now get, go into your PhD, you are trying to discover something new that did not exist. You keep pushing that boundary, and then eventually you keep pushing that for a few years. It happens like that in science. And then eventually, the boundary gives way. You have this little bit of space that you have extended the human knowledge. Okay? It doesn't get better than that. That is where I think is innovation. That is where the innovation starts. That's the new knowledge, and then innovation starts from there. Or is it innovation? So my talk is going to be based on this, that you gain some new knowledge, but is that innovation really? So, of course, the world now looks different to you. I zoomed in. That is where you were. You're right in the PIMP, right inside there. But then, don't forget about the big picture. You have made an advancement into the global knowledge, that you have made something new. So the more pimples like this we have all around this globe, eventually, the entire globe is going to become bigger. Okay? That's the goal. Now, that's why we need to keep pushing. But is there more to innovation than just gathering new knowledge, learning new things? Of course there is. There is, of course, this connectivity, the passion that I'm talking to you about today. And there is the collaboration. You have to be devoted to what you are doing. And then, of course, there is resilience. There will be many obstacles on the way, and you are going to keep jumping over them, going under them, going around them, something like that. And then, of course, the discipline to do all of these things. Eventually, you are going to have this independent, qualified person, the researcher, who is doing more of, one more innovation and another innovation, eventually. What do we really need from this knowledge into becoming an innovation? What is the step in between them? I think the main word is in the red. That is the ecosystem. So I'll talk to you about the ecosystem and how we have built an ecosystem for a certain area. From this land where you are visiting, most of our visitors today, hopefully they have been here before, but welcome to Turkey for the ones who are visiting us for the very first time. Innovation at its best. So we are very proud to have a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry in 2015, Professor Aziz Sancar. His research was based on DNA repair mechanisms. Now, this is basic science, basic research, which has immense potential impact in terms of cancer therapies. You can think of genetic treatments. You can think of in biotechnology. You can imagine, more than the field itself, it has made an impact, and it's going to keep making impact. So one idea, a Turkish professor doing basic science and managed to do amazing research and hoping to have this impact in the world. Another example is from COVID. We have learned through COVID that we are all very well connected when we didn't want to be connected at all through the virus. And then we weren't connected enough. We were kept in our houses, and we were very well connected through our online systems where we wanted to connect with science. These two, again, Turkish professors, Professor Uğur Şahin and Özlem Türeci, practically, when you look at the graph right here, was the reason, was the cause, or was the result between life and death for many of us, including myself. So this was knowledge, innovation, and then research that was also translated into saving lives, into human lives, made a difference. Now, these two examples, though they're Turkish-born, educated scientists, they all flourished in ecosystems that are already very well established. Professor Sancar is in US, and you well know the couple behind me are in Germany. So we are talking about very well established research ecosystems that took the innovation and the translation was made possible. So I will tell you about what we are doing here today, and that it is not that we started innovation a few years ago or recently, but our original country is based on innovation. So the founder of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, and I will call the country itself as a startup. We just celebrated our 100 years, and for a startup, of course, 100 years seem a lot, but for a country, it's nothing, right? So 100-year-old country is a really startup in the country's lifetime. So the innovation, as the innovator, the reforms that Turkey is built upon has really led the foundation to what I'm going to talk to you about today. So Atatürk's visionary leadership and these key innovation ideas, I think, is what has driven most of the work that you are going to see from Turkey today. So why do we have innovation? Or the question maybe really is, why do we really want to invest in science and technology? Now, to this audience, I don't really have to say more. We are talking about the Sustainable Development Goals. If we do not have these Sustainable Development Goals, at least work towards them, towards achieving them, we are really going to, I don't want to say it at the beginning of a conference like this, but we are doomed, right? The whole green, the climate change, the lack of resources and everything in the world, we are not doing very well. So we need to work towards these goals. And we don't have an option other than moving towards this knowledge economy. We need to really base on everything we do into this knowledge economy as opposed to everything we have been doing today or before. Now, I will take this idea and tell you how do we really build an innovation ecosystem? What do we really need for that? And I would like to call on the human capital as the most important part of this whole endeavor, because that is, I think, what derives everything that you can imagine. Everything else, the information, the mindsets, the collaboration between the people, everything depends on the human capital we know. And the bottom, I have written it slightly yellowish on there, is because I think the leadership is the most important part. So the human capital, to drive that human capital into something useful, knowledge becoming innovation, we need the leadership. And for that leadership, I think this room is now full of leaders from their respective countries. This room is now full of people who are leaders of their own startups. Okay? So this room, every seat pretty much is occupied by a leader. So I will tell you what I understand from a leader. The leader has to have these properties that we want VUCA leaders in the world. VUCA stands, VUCA stands for volatility, V for volatility. That is the key aspect. That is, the world is unpredictable. You are operating in. There are positions where you're operating that are unpredictable. There are peaks, there are torus, you have to move around them. Then there is the U, that is uncertainty. And of course, the future is unknown. You can predict something, model something, but extremely unlikely events can happen that are very impactful for you. And then, of course, there is the complexity, the C, I think one of the most complicated ones. There are interconnected factors that influence everything, each other, so that you cannot really model through what you are doing. And of course, the A stands for ambiguity. There is data, but that is conflicting, noisy, you cannot really see through. It is some kind of muddy area that you are trying to operate. Now, these VUCA leaders are the ones who manage to get everything eventually into a successful point. That's my belief. Now, what do I mean by that? Normally, in a very well-established ecosystem, you don't really have VUCA events every now and then. An earthquake is a VUCA event. It is complex, ambiguous, there is volatility, there is uncertainty, everything. So think of this huge earthquake we have been through last year, very, very sad event, but it produced leaders. Now, from this idea, when you are in a well-established environment, well-established ecosystem, you do not need that many leaders in the first place. But when you are in ecosystems that are developing, that are trying to form these connections, that are trying to find its way inside this turbulent, unambiguous system, you have to have these VUCA leaders. So you grow these VUCA leaders. In our countries, we have these VUCA leaders. Because of the entire environment is pretty much, that's how we live. So take this as an opportunity, not in terms of, hey, some disaster happened, but we can turn all of these into opportunities. That was my message. Now, how about if I take this story and forming an ecosystem, an innovation ecosystem, how about forming it in a pharma biotech industry ecosystem? Now, this is an example that is my own example, but it's an example that is one of the difficult ecosystems. Why? Because when you are talking about a medicine, when you are talking about a vaccine, when you are talking about a medical device, this is a very well-regulated industry. You have to keep getting permissions from the health authorities of each and respective country, for example. So you cannot just walk in and say, hey, I'm selling this kind of medication, or hey, I made this. It's a little different than any other field that you can imagine. Maybe a field that is similar to this in terms of difficulties in international operations is defense. So pharma, biotech, and is one of those ecosystems is slightly harder than everything else in terms of setting it up. So in this, I will tell you my story. That you start, most of you are not from the field, so I'll have a little 30-second overview of this. So you start from a synthesis of a molecule. It could be a chemical, a biologic, and then you test through in vitro cell analysis, and then you test in vivo in animals. The entire thing we call preclinical, meaning before the clinic, right? So then you have to produce this material in good quality, which is going to now turn in from production and go into clinic. You have to, of course, take some permissions, and we do have these clinical trials, and through the COVID and vaccine days, everybody, I think, is familiar with these phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trials. You have to go through these. And then eventually you are going to, again, get your approval from the health authorities. FDA in US is very well known. EMA in Europe is very well known. TÜBİTAK in Turkey, the Turkish medical authority. So you get your approvals from these in every step, eventually in the clinical steps. So what makes it difficult is not just that you have to go through getting permissions, but the job itself is difficult. Why is it difficult? Because it is more of a, many trials in terms of science, in terms of research. So you start with many drug potential candidates that you start with 2,000, 5,000, usually between 2,000 to 5,000 is the industrial average. You start with that, and eventually you are going to keep going through this whole one-by-one event, trying them, and get some of them into the clinic. Even in the clinic, they keep failing, and eventually you get to one approved medication. Now, this takes years. That's one of the difficulties. You fail a lot. And then the second problem is that it costs a lot because of the failures and because of the job itself. The technologies, the techniques you need to use is difficult. So you are going to have the regular going cost right now is over $1 billion. Depending on what you are making, it could be even about $2 billion for a single drug that is going to go for approval. Now, for countries like us, it sounds like, okay, we don't have this much time, we don't have this much money. What do we do? Now, good news is this is data, quite older data, as a matter of fact, from FDA. So what they have done is the drugs that are approved, they have looked at those and said, how many of these drugs were developed from research by big pharma versus small startups? So the small startups, over the years, the ratio have increased. They are now over 60%, 65% every year. The drugs, the new drugs, are now coming from startups. So for those of you who are thinking, okay, you just said it takes more than $1 billion to develop a drug, and now you are saying that the startups are developing that. How does that work? Now, that has a lot to do with the entire ecosystem and how it works. So the ecosystem, I think, is built around the startups. If we build around the startups, we can manage much better. That's why I put the startups in the middle. And in this pharma ecosystem, of course, you have the research ecosystems, the funding agencies, the venture capitals, regulators are also on top of that. But then the research centers are now hooked to the hospitals for being able to do the trials. But all of these are going through the startup. That is where the value creation is. Now, I will tell you one story, one specific example of a story where we have connected these dots and show you what happened when we were able to connect all of these dots together. One idea from here is the first ecosystem partner, the stakeholder, is a research lab. This is my research lab at Boğaziçi University, Department of Chemistry. It's basic research. Publishes in journals, has graduate students, PhDs, whatnot. Any regular institution, any regular research group. From this, the idea that I'm going to tell you today about is targeted drug delivery. One of those research projects eventually stemmed out and stood out with its data, where we are attaching these drug molecules. This is the only chemistry slide that I'm going to show you. Okay, so be aware of that. I'm not going to do too much science today. So we take these small molecule drugs, the chemotherapy agents, attach them, physically connect them to a polymer, and target this system directly to the tumor. So it goes and attaches itself to the receptors on the tumor surface, gets inside the tumor, and then releases the drug there. The idea is very simple. What are we trying to do with this? We are trying to reduce the amount of drug the rest of the body is going to, see, so that it is not going to have the side effects to the patient, so that we can increase the dose within the tumor. That's how we are trying to solve the cancer problem, one of the solutions. The other stakeholder is a center at Boğaziçi University. This is Center for Life Sciences and Technologies. It started in 2010. The previous research lab had started in 2004 So 2004 was the start of the research lab. 2010 is the start of the research center. The research center is to host all the infrastructures that are capable of moving this research from the very basic and all the way to translation. That was the idea. So many infrastructures were established, and we had this idea that we are going to now move towards or have pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and medical device industries in our scope. So with this, we have focused on targeted therapy technologies. That's where the research also, the research center also lies at. The research center takes the idea from one end, the research labs, uses all these infrastructures, and then even establishes some production centers, production facilities, especially for medical device in our case, and then moves these ideas to clinic via startups. And we have these incubator, accelerator, even financing VC components of our sector, and a health industry cluster, which stemmed from our center and eventually now became a whole countrywide national health cluster, as a matter of fact. So the idea of taking research ideas and moving to human health to make a difference started from this ecosystem stakeholder two, my number two. So this stakeholder takes care of the sort of still in the preclinical side on the left-hand side. The same stakeholder takes many startups that are within this scope of medical field, and most of these startups have many products that have already impacted human life. So I will move through them, and I'll tell you the story of one of them. That is, of course, my company, that's why I'm telling the story, but that is to highlight the targeted nanomedicine, that is RS Research. So RS Research is the startup in the story. Just like in movies, you have the girl, the boy, and this is the startup of our story. So it uses active targeting, has novel platforms of carrier platforms, and takes these and has the motto that we are going to have a cure with a smile, where we are not really affecting the, having the adverse effects of the chemotherapies on patients, and where we are curing the tumors, the patients. So that's the startup's story, and the startup takes this production, and then, of course, research from there, production of the research, production, and then moving it into the clinical. The idea from research all the way to GMP production, the company set up a production facility in Istanbul again, in Technopark Istanbul. So this is a GMP production facility that is, of course, approved by the health authority for lyophilized cytotoxic agents. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I use these technical terms, this is the cleanest that you need to get to, as difficult as it gets in terms of setting up a medicine production facility. Okay, there isn't anything cleaner than this that you need to be. So this is what we have, taking now novel molecules that you can move to clinical research. The core team who did this, I wanted to show, especially to the young people, that just to look at their eyes and see the excitement, the dedication, that it is possible. I think most importantly, what I didn't put in the first part, what do you need for innovation? You need the dedication, but you need the people who believe in this thing, that yes, we can do it. I think I will come back to this yes, we can do attitude. So for the bridge building that I just showed you, the startup, RS Research is now in the center of this, and where we have, wrong direction, where we have these clusters, the health authorities, the funding agencies, everybody kind of lined up. These are our dots. If you remove this RS Research, put your startup in the middle, you draw your own. That is the challenge. Of course, then you see that, okay, I need to connect to this dot as well. That's where you start the connections. The rest of the story is very simple. We started from research lab at Boğaziçi University, this small lab, literally, the center, and then took this idea and moved it to human. Now, why is this really important? We were able to produce this medication, and we actually made it to clinical trials. We dosed some patients from this. The clinical trial has started. It's still ongoing, pretty well, as a matter of fact. It's now going on for all solid tumors. So this idea that you have taken a research idea and moved it all the way to clinic was never done in Turkey before. Okay? So I said 100 years old, the country, we have, come the innovation. We started with the innovation. We have never done this before. Now, that's where the power comes from. That's something that we thought was impossible to do. We were able to do it. Now, when I looked at it, in Europe, there are possibly about 10 countries who have taken their molecule and made it into a drug before. That's it, not more than that. In the whole world, it's about 20. So only 20 countries, maybe 25, give or take one or two, have taken something and moved it all the way to human health. There are so many researchers in all of our countries. But this is something we all thought was impossible to do because of this, that, I can count you the reasons why we couldn't do it before. But we were able to do it. Now, my message is to all of you that if we were able to do it, each and every one of you have the power to whatever you believe in, that you can do all of those things. I will end you with some thoughts to linger about. So this is the tumor, lung tumor of a patient. The blue parts are the healthy tissues. Brown parts are where our drug goes and attaches. Those are the tumors. That's where we are trying to get rid of. So we have this picture on the entire wall of our production facility. That's where we work on in front of this every day. Now, of course, the impact that we have on patients, I think is enormous. But I think it's the smallest impact that we have. Because at the end, you are talking about, again, some numbers that you can think of. You can count these things, count the patients. The clinical research capability, as interesting as it is, the preclinical research, the GLP research, was not available in Turkey before. Now we have 4 centers who are capable of GLP studies. In terms of clinical research capabilities, the clinical research we started was the very first phase 1 clinical trial in cancer in Turkey, the full-fledged trial. I'm not talking about one patient we have taken here, one patient we have taken there for global studies, but the entire study being conducted in Turkey with everybody being involved in terms of writing the protocol for this project, protocol for this study, was the very first time. So it's a learning opportunity. The hospital who has started with our work has now over 30 phase 1s that are running. So that is the impact. You start with one, and immediately, when everybody sees that you can do it, the more come to you. The third, of course, the innovative drug development. It is the process that we are talking about, but in terms of the production facility, we did not have a production facility in our country that could produce materials for clinical trials. Now, it's a little different, a little more tricky than producing things for regular use. Now we have many companies have seen this as an opportunity and want to do clinical research, so they have moved into getting the same permissions. Now we have more. This was the very first time, the one that you saw the pictures. The third one is, of course, economy. The startup was started in 2015, eventually with venture capital. I didn't really talk about that journey of the money raising, but we are talking about quite a number of millions right now where the companies value that, which started from a government university, a government employee with practically putting in not much money into the system. But eventually we were able to raise money and have this impact. And the third part, I think this is the part that I enjoy most, that is the possibility, that is the inspiration, not only hope, but inspiration for researchers. That who thought that this was not possible, who thought that this was not doable. So I'll expand on this, that we have the first clinical candidate in our country. It might be successful, it might be not, but now we know how to do it. There are so many more in the pipeline, you cannot even imagine. And then the first GMP facility for this clinical work, the small facility that is capable of now producing these materials. The center, who are now taking many more ideas that you have seen, many more possibilities that I could never imagine, 15 years ago when we were first starting the center. Many more companies flourishing in this. And of course, just from this one single lab, I'm not talking about the center, one single lab, we have more than 350 students who passed through, who has done research, who has started their own academic life and industrial lives, and who have made a difference globally, literally. We have graduates now all around the world. So the idea here is we can make these medicines everywhere. That's my message. If we can make this anywhere and everywhere, we can democratize these solutions, the healthcare solutions. For many of the solutions that you are hearing today, that, hey, we have this solution, we have that solution, I don't want to name names and get booted for that, but many of them are not affordable. Many of them are not affordable even in developed countries. You need the social security for that, and social security will not be able to provide enough money to be able to provide these solutions. It is only possible when we take these solutions and make them available in more affordable prices, then we can do them. So my call to all of you, in whichever field you are at, if you are thinking that something is not doable, it's just not doable right now. It's doable sometime soon. Somebody will do it for sure. Why not you? Just do it, right? So it became like the advertisement, but I like this just do it kind of attitude. The other offer to you from here, I know Turkey is stepping down from Eureka right now, but we are part of this amazing network. So anything and everything, you want to take this as an idea that we have set up an ecosystem, seemingly a successful looking ecosystem. Of course, it has many pitfalls in between. But take this idea of ecosystem and apply it to your own. In the same medical, pharmaceutical field in your own countries or in other fields. If you need any kind of ideas, any kind of help, just call up, we'll be more than happy to, give you an ear and keep talking. As I always say, when you talk to academicians, you press a button, they start talking. You keep pressing again, and they never stop talking. So I'm like one of those. So I would like to finish with a global source of inspiration for all of you in these ideas. That Atatürk, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the founder of Turkey, has said, if one day my words contradict with science, choose science. So choose science no matter what. That's for sure. Now, this second one comes from my co-founder, Senav Nomak, my biggest chance in this whole startup system. And he says, innovation is science, but that creates benefits. So creating benefits for humankind, or any kind, doesn't matter, is what you need to have knowledge to become into innovation. And then what I would like to say at the end is that I dream of a tomorrow that is where all of these technologies within our reach, and they are within our reach, believe in that, first thing, of all of these nations, and that will lead us to the unity. And I hope, my biggest hope is for a future where all these innovative technologies contribute to the world peace, nothing less. Thank you. And I knew that I was the only person standing between lunch and you, so I didn't want to take any risks. I don't know if anybody wants to take some questions. I have some extra time spared, but we're already running late, so let me know.
Okay, if there is any questions, maybe one or two we can get, then we'll proceed with the lunch break.
Go ahead. I'll hear and then repeat your question. Yes.
So you emphasized environment, ecosystems, and you emphasized leadership, and you emphasized that it's doable. Yeah. So you mean that leadership is key for developing countries which don't have the right ecosystems at the moment. That leadership is key for basically CEOs or managers or everyone in critical positions in order to transform the ecosystem which will yield the solutions like the one you created.
Leadership is key, I would like to say that, but I would like to say that with a clause. So, of course, the leadership is key. I mean, they are sitting right in the first row. How can I say that it's not the key? They can just leave and go, right? And especially the ones who are in this room today with us have been extremely successful in leading in our country. So we are very lucky on that. But my message was bigger than that. My message was that each one of us is that leader. It doesn't matter, who your director is at a given point. You can be the leader, you can be the change that you want. That was my message. And become that leader. You might not be right now. You might not be feeling like a leader right now. But you are the one. If you want change, you need to be the one.
We'd like to thank you so much. Then if there are any questions, you can find Professor Rana Sanyal and ask your questions after the session. We'd like to thank you for your attention up until now. Now we are going for a lunch break. Enjoy your lunch. After the lunch, we'll have fruitful discussions here in the main hall and also parallel sessions in other halls here in Haliç Congress Center. Thank you. Afiyet olsun.